Bullet holes, break-ins, and keyed cars. The continued crime wreaking havoc on a Kitchener neighborhood.
The clients that they have there are just, unfortunately, just ruining our experience here.
Residents feeling like they don't know where to turn to for help.
The managers there are trying their best, and they are very sincere people.
Plus, construction season continues. The region of Waterloo ramping up asphalt work as the summer draws to an end. Dozens of roads earmarked for resurfacing over the coming weeks. And another gold for a decorated local athlete.
I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Meet the para-bowler that's been winning nationals again and again.
Blind bowler beats a lot of these people in the club.
She's a feisty bowler. She's a good person to have on somebody's team.
And what's next for Kitchener's Louise McLean? Well, good evening and thank you for watching. From bullet holes to break-ins and most recently keyed cars, several people living on a Kitchener street don't know where to turn to for help after they say crime has increased in their neighborhood over the last couple of years. They claim it's only getting worse and they fear for their safety. CTV's Spencer Turcotte is back from Sterling Avenue and joins us live. Spencer, what do residents there believe is leading to all of this?
Well, they say the vandalism and break-ins increased after a men's homeless shelter moved into the neighborhood, and while they can't connect every incident, they're hoping something can be done to cut down on crime.
I'm a teacher. I'm an elementary school teacher, so we don't make enemies, so I was very surprised by this.
Eric Reese was upset to learn that his car had recently been keyed.
Oh yeah, you can right here if you look at it from the side.
As was Wendy McGrattan, a longtime resident of Kitchener Sterling Avenue.
We've never had anything like this in the 27 years I've been here.
But it wasn't just these two neighbors who became victims of this vandalism. Upwards of 7 residents along the street had the same thing happen.
I'm not sure, maybe if he got spooked before the message was done and ran off.
They wanted a copy of our estimates, pictures, and the amount of the damage. It was $1,400.95.
But the damage doesn't stop in the driveways. This is what the front window of Eric's home looks like.
I have a bullet in my front window. My neighbors also have bullet holes in their windows. We don't know what to do.
So it's break-ins. I've had my house broken into twice.
Sterling Avenue residents are at their wits' end. They say these crimes keep happening and they believe they know why.
Ever since the homeless shelter has moved in, it's just been, it gets worse every day. Like we've been putting up with this for 3 years.
The former Edith McIntosh Child Care Center was converted into an emergency shelter for men. The neighbors say they can't pinpoint every crime back to the shelter, but they say they have caught some shelter clients wreaking havoc.
Even though the managers there are trying their best and they are very sincere people, that unfortunately the clients that they have there are just unfortunately just ruining our experience here.
The staff from the shelter were not available for an interview on Friday, and CTV News also reached out to police, who say they weren't able to track down any active investigations in the area. Residents are unsure of where to turn to next.
A lot of us haven't been sleeping at night. When the sensor light goes out on my driveway, I get out of bed.
Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, and we don't feel comfortable here. There are already 2 homes on our street that are for sale.
And the neighbors did host a community meeting this afternoon where local politicians were invited. They hope it will get their concerns heard at a higher level to hopefully promote some change. Colton.
Right, that's CTV's Spencer Turcotte reporting live this evening. Thank you, Spencer. Time now for a check on the weather. Let's head over to CTV's Leanne Evans now. And Leanne, I spent some time downtown earlier today and it was pretty nice out.
Yeah, it's a great way to end off the work week. Beautiful conditions out there and lots on the go in the region. I'm sure downtown was busy.
Oh yeah, Caravana. They were getting set up for Caravana over in Waterloo. They've got Busker Festival going on, so the sunshine was great for it. It looked awesome.
Yeah, it did. And you know, it's great that there's so much on the go out there in the region because summer is winding down, whether we like it or not. So maybe get out, take in Caravana or the Busker Festival. Tons of other things on the go too. Just get outside, enjoy this sunshine because it's not going to stick around for the entire weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's focus on the sunshine that is right now. 26 degrees in Waterloo region through many communities across southwestern Ontario, and the humidity not really playing that much of a factor. Feeling a little bit closer to 30 when you factor it in, but it doesn't doesn't feel sticky or muggy out there this evening. Perfect night to get out, sit on a patio, enjoy a barbecue, head out for a walk. Clear conditions. We'll break it all down a little bit later in the newscast, exactly when we're going to see that rain and when you'll get dry periods throughout the course of the weekend. Colton.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Leanne. Peele Regional Police say they have a suspect in custody after issuing an Amber Alert yesterday evening. The subject of the alert was an 8-month-old boy who police say was found in good health. Investigators say a 40-year-old man they arrested early this morning in Brampton was the baby's uncle. Last night's Amber Alert was canceled about 40 minutes after it was issued. 2 Southern Ontario organizations are speaking out after Crown lawyers decided not to appeal the World Junior Sexual Assault acquittals. With more on their reaction and the change they still want to see, here's CTV's Sean Irvin.
The executive director of the London Abused Women's Centre is disappointed the Crown will not appeal the not guilty verdicts in the high-profile case involving 5 former members of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey team. But Jennifer Dunn is not surprised.
Like, we weren't living in this world where we thought that there was going to be an appeal and all of a sudden the verdict was going to look a little bit different or totally different. So we figured that this was going to happen.
But that does not take away pain and frustration.
So this is not a matter of, innocent until proven guilty. They're not guilty. It doesn't mean nothing happened. And I think that we need to remember that.
The acquittals of the 5 men came in a verdict delivered on July 24th. Justice! Supporters of the women at the center of the case rallied before and after the verdict was read. Dunn fears the attention around the trial and the failure of the appeal will discourage some victims from stepping forward in the future.
This case was very high level, and I think anytime a situation like this is talked about, it does make women think a little bit more about what they're going to do.
It is a reality her organization and London-based Innova are looking to mitigate. Both have issued a joint statement reminding women there are supports available.
At like a grassroots level on the ground, need to work really hard to build that trust with community so then women and girls know that they're not alone and that we will support them.
In the aftermath of the trial, Dunn is also calling for all judges to be required to take sexual assault awareness training. She also wants politicians to support victims.
If we're going to move the needle at all, we need proper legislation, proper education, proper awareness, proper funding to see what we can do to make that better for women and girls.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
We have details of a family's harrowing escape from a house fire in Georgetown. The home destroyed after fire tore through it early this morning, with the family still inside at the time. CTV's Janice Golding has details of the daring rescue as neighbors stepped in to help.
A Georgetown family is thanking their neighbors for their bravery tonight after they helped them escape the flames and smoke that were consuming their home. You can see the flames completely engulf a Georgetown home early this morning. A fire that started in the garage and quickly spread through the house.
And all I heard was this giant bang. My parents were screaming. And then all of a sudden I walked downstairs and then it was just fire and then it was loud booms after booms after booms.
So when we opened the curtains, we saw flames sort of everywhere.
First priority was to get your family out of the house as quick as possible.
Frightening for neighbors, but life-threatening for the Nikolic family.
I have 5 staples at the back of my head and I have 3 stitches on my ankle. I got a head laceration because when I jumped out of the window.
Vesna Nikolic says she and her husband were awakened by a loud explosion around 4:20 a.m.
And I ran into the kids' rooms just to see if they're safe, and I pulled them out of there, and I looked downstairs and I saw that the doors were blown into the house, the doors that are between the garage and the house, they were blown into.
The garage housing 2 electric vehicles.
Black smoke already started rising, and it spread so fast. Like within 5 minutes, it was already in a room in the master bedroom.
Given how thick the smoke was, the family rushed to a window and then started calling for help.
Heard screaming in the back, so Patrick and I, we ran to the back, we jumped over the fence, and then they were up there, we saw a window.
2 neighbors, including Ahmad Chowdhury, came running.
Patrick saw a plywood next to the neighbor, we took that, we put that against the house, and we just like, yo, just jump, just jump. The First kid jumped, Patrick caught him. The second kid, we got him.
The family was rushed to hospital and treated for smoke inhalation and minor injuries.
Honestly, the hardest thing for me is not having the pictures of my children from birth on. That's, I think, the hardest thing for me. Everything else is just, it can be purchased again.
Along with Vesna Nikolich's home, 2 adjacent homes were also touched by flames, with the damage estimated to be in the millions. The Ontario Fire Marshal's office is investigating, although the fire is not considered suspicious. I'm Janice Golding. Now back to the desk.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is taking a new approach in stalled trade talks with the United States by extending an olive branch of sorts. The Prime Minister announced Canada will remove retaliatory tariffs on some products that comply with the existing North American free trade deal. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more from Ottawa.
After a phone call with the American president yesterday, the Prime Minister is now trying to sell Canadians on the idea that no new deal with the United States is actually the best trade deal in the world.
We're matching what the United States has done, what the president has done. We have the best deal of any country with the United States right now.
As of September 1st, Canada will drop counter tariffs on U.S. goods covered by CUSMA. Those have been an irritant for Trump, and the Prime Minister indicated that in their Thursday phone call, Trump said getting rid of them would kickstart negotiations. Carney saying they're now intensifying. In the Oval Office, the president now saying he wants to be very good to Canada.
He's removing his retaliatory tariffs, which I thought was nice, and we're going to have another call soon. Yeah, we had a very good call.
You're getting closer towards an agreement on trade?
I like them.
Carney is trying to sell this as matching the U.S., using that word multiple times, since the U.S. has no tariffs on CUSMA-exempt goods. But the tariffs that remain from the U.S. on steel and aluminum are higher than Canada's.
We're not raising those today. We've matched the tariffs on autos, similar structure as the U.S. We do have a difference between our tariff on U.S. steel and our tariff on U.S. aluminum. Those are part of the intensive discussions that we're underway right now.
Ahead of the announcement, the Prime Minister brought cabinet together in a virtual meeting, and the minister responsible for U.S. trade briefed the rest of caucus after. Carney also said the renegotiation of CUSMA could take as long as 18 months to work out. Trade experts say what happens there will be the real issue for the long term. The Prime Minister is also promising a new, quote, industrial strategy in September for all sectors hit by tariffs, mentioning autos and agriculture in particular. The Prime Minister has long talked about diversifying trade partners in the face of the U.S. trade war, and next week he heads to Germany to work on that, bringing along a handful of key ministers with him. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Many small businesses are taking the brunt of the ongoing trade war with the United States. Earlier this month, the United States ended a long-standing agreement that low-value parcels are duty exempt. The removal is already having a serious impact on some businesses. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports.
Old telephones and typewriters, all the types of things that we sell into the U.S.
Dave Pelkey says sales to U.S. customers on his Etsy website account for 60% of his antique sales. The owner of the Vintage Crate in Arnprior says the removal of duty exemptions for small businesses like his by the U.S. government is hard to take.
I think that American end users are going to feel it, and I think small businesses in Canada are going to feel it.
Earlier this month, the U.S. government announced the end of the de minimis threshold, which is an exemption for duties on goods shipped to the U.S. valued under $800. Etsy has announced it won't print Canada Post shipping labels for orders to the U.S. because the carrier can't process tariffs. Sellers will need to ship through other companies and will need to either raise prices or absorb the cost of the tariffs.
They have to use the bigger carriers. They cost more to ship. They're going to charge us brokerage fees, and then they're going to charge us the tariffs. So absorbing all of that is financially undoable.
It's the latest blow for small businesses in the ongoing trade war and causing a strain. A new survey from the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses shows that 40% of small businesses could close within a year.
Yes, we know that nearly 1 in 3 Canadian small businesses will be affected somehow by the
the loss of the U.S. de minimis.
Says money collected from counter tariffs should go towards supporting small businesses. Pelkey says that he spent $60,000 to get his online shop running with 3,000 products. He says he fears what raising prices for U.S. customers could mean for businesses like his.
You raise your prices high enough, customers stop buying.
That was Kimberly Johnson reporting. A reminder to start your day in the know with our CTV News Kitchener newsletter. Get the best local content from CTV News straight to your inbox. We've got today's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. And it's all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Well, still ahead on CTV News at 6, a united call to end gun violence. The rally that followed the killing of an 8-year-old boy struck by a stray bullet in Toronto, leading to calls for action and justice.
We saw an abundance of sunshine in Waterloo region to close out the work week, but some wet weather is waiting in the wings. I'll break it down on when we could see the rain move in coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, you see the sunshine outside, and we know what that means in Canada. Construction season is still going. And as summer winds down, the region of Waterloo is ramping up asphalt work starting in the township of Wellesley. That's where we find CTV's Ashley Bacon today. And Ashley, dozens of roads have been earmarked for resurfacing over the coming weeks.
That's right, Colton. As you can see behind me, the surface here has already been done. It's one of the 90 locations that will be completed over the next month. The region of Waterloo is working to repair damaged asphalt before winter sets in. The process includes removing the top layer of asphalt, applying a tack coat, and then resurfacing with new asphalt. The project began with work in Wellesley Township over the last week. Repairs began in the township of Woolwich Friday on Lopsinger Line. Wilmot Township is next, with work expected between August 25th to 27th. Kitchener-Waterloo commuters will see a number of locations affected over a period of 4 weeks, starting August 28th, including locations at Erb Street and Fisher-Hallman and on Weber Street, close to University Avenue. And finally, Cambridge and North Dumfries, with work happening from September 10th to 22nd, including areas along Bishop Street. To accommodate the project, some lanes will be reduced while the work is being completed. The region reminding commuters to slow down and pack your patience, as there might be minor delays. According to the region, the project will wrap up at the end of September. Now, for a full list of where the locations are, that can be found on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Colton?
All right, I'll be sure to get that patience packed. Thank you, Ashley. Niagara Regional Police have arrested 2 people and are seeking a third after a woman was set on fire while sleeping in her St. Catharines apartment. 37-year-old Rebecca Daigneault of St. Catharines is wanted for attempted murder. The 2 people in custody face the same charge. Police say a woman suffered critical injuries in the fire in the Vine and Scott Streets area on Sunday night. They say an accelerant was used to start the fire. They also believe the suspects know the victim. We turn now to a united call to end gun violence. A rally was held today in honor of an 8-year-old boy struck and killed by a stray bullet in Toronto almost 1 week ago. CTV's Scott Lightfoot has more on the calls for action and justice.
They gathered to mourn and to call for change, all in memory of 8-year-old Javay Roy.
Javay's voice is still going to be heard regardless of if he's with us in this physical world. He's now with us in spirit.
Justice for Javay is what organizers called this rally outside City Hall. just 6 days after the boy was struck by an errant bullet meant for someone else. It was around 12:30 last Saturday morning when one or more shooters opened fire from near the sidewalk along Trithui Drive. They were aiming at someone near this playground. The bullets missed and pierced the building, striking Gervais, who was laying in bed with his mother.
The outpour of love and support, like I can't even imagine where I'd be if I didn't have this support. It gets me through one day at a time.
Among those who turned out today to show support, strangers, angered by the senselessness of the boy's death.
Devastated. I'm a mom of 3. It's unacceptable.
And there were mothers who have lost sons to gun violence.
As I used to say, this will never hit home for me. You know, I used to see mothers crying on the TV, they lost a son, and I say, you know what, this wouldn't come. And then it came straight to my doorstep.
This isn't just an everyday shooting, stuff that you're numb to by now. This is a child. He should be starting school in 2 weeks with his friends, and is not.
There were calls for change to the laws, the Youth Criminal Justice Act, bail procedures, even how neighborhoods are protected. A number of politicians were on hand to hear the demands.
I'm feeling the hurt and the pain from the community. Every 8-year-old should feel safe. Every mom and dad should feel safe in their own homes, in their bed with their kids.
But if you're not safe sleeping in bed at night, you wonder, like, what the heck's going on in the city?
There is also frustration that someone knows who pulled the trigger that fired the shot that killed Gervais. But so far, no one has come forward to say who it was.
At the end of the day, someone's going to rat this guy out for some money, because that's what it comes down to. He is a coward. He's a child killer. He's going to go to prison.
However, and whenever it comes, those who knew Gervais say they believe his legacy will be one of change and of justice.
We're going to fight super hard for him, and I know I have the whole city behind me, my community. I know there'll be justice.
Scott Lightfoot, CTV News.
Okay, here's a live look outside the CTV Kitchener studios this hour. We're seeing plenty of sunshine, but wet weather is on the way for part of the weekend. Leanne will tell us when coming up. Also ahead, catching up with a local lawn bowler that's growing her collection of gold medals and getting set to take on some of the world's best next month. Plus, a tough update from the province's financial watchdog, taking a look at just how many jobs have been lost in Ontario. Well, Leanne's back to talk a little bit about this weather, and we were talking just during the break. It's a little cool in the morning, but then warms up by the afternoon. Is that kind of the expectation now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely been cooler than what we're used to seeing at this point in August. Even the daytime high is about 5 to 10 degrees below seasonal averages, which we've noticed over the past couple weeks, I would say. However, today it's been beautiful. The mornings are cool, though. I definitely noticed that, too.
Well, when you said the humidity isn't that strong today,
yeah,
you're not wrong. I was out earlier, and yeah, it was very sunny, very nice, but wasn't sweating.
Yeah, it's nice. It's actually comfortable to just get out, go for a walk.
Yes.
Bike ride.
Caravana.
Caravana.
Busker Festival.
Yeah, the Busker Festival. It looks awesome in Uptown Waterloo. Just walked past a little bit of it last night. They had rides, food trucks, the whole works
I like
out
a Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
Ferris
they have
wheels are
one.
fun.
You can check it out. It's on the Spurline Trail. So it's going on all weekend. There's lots to enjoy around the region this weekend. Hopefully you get a chance to get out and do so before the rain comes in. So we'll time kind of all that out in our long range forecast. But let's take a look outside from our studios here in the Sports World area of Kitchener. As you can see, the sun is still shining out there. We actually reached our warmest peaks of the day through the later afternoon hours, and we're still at that right now. So still a great chance to get outside and enjoy the beautiful conditions on this Friday afternoon. Could we ask for more on a Friday? I don't think so. 26 degrees right now in Waterloo region. That was our daytime high today as well. So like I said, we saw it in the later afternoon hours. Many surrounding communities hovering that same mark. And as we talked about, the humidity not playing much of a factor. It's feeling closer to 30 when you do factor in the humidex, but it's not sticky. It's not muggy. It's the perfect August evening to get out and enjoy. 26 was the daytime high. That came around 4 o'clock. So a little bit above seasonal for this time of year, which As we said, the past couple of weeks have been about 5 to 10 degrees below the normal temperature for this time of the month. 8:15 is when the sun will be setting tonight. Again, that getting earlier and earlier as the day goes by. It's pretty sad to see, I think, but we still have a couple of hours to get out and enjoy. Overnight, dropping to 14 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and by tomorrow we will be back up to a high of 26. That's what's expected. Afternoon showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. We are going to time that out in just a bit, but across the country, we are watching for Hurricane Erin. It is not expected to make landfall in Canada. However, it is expected to brush past Atlantic Canada. The biggest impacts that it'll have will be really high waves, strong winds, and overcast skies. I was actually talking to my dad a little bit earlier this afternoon. He's in Nova Scotia. He went out to the beach around 4 o'clock there, and he sent some photos, and the waves are very big out there. He said there was no surfers out there this afternoon. It'd be a little bit dangerous for that. So we're keeping our eyes on that. That's the big picture across the country right now. Here at home, this is what things are looking at like for the weekend. So, clear conditions as we head into the overnight hours. The later evening hours, we're going to see that cloud cover start to build up. Then we are watching for Saturday morning. So a little bit of cloud cover, but we will see some peaks of sunshine. Get out, enjoy your outdoor activities in the morning. Then we are seeing these cooler northwesterly winds creating some precipitation with the warm water of the Great Lakes. So that precipitation moving in around the later afternoon hours Saturday. We could see it come down heavy at times into the late evening hours, and some embedded thunder showers are possible with that system moving through as well. Now, overnight into Sunday morning, we should be waking up to dry conditions, but there is the chance that system will linger and we could see some pop-up showers through the day Sunday. However, it won't be a washout, so you'll be able to get outside and enjoy as well. Now, as we get into Monday, you can see those temperatures really take a swing. 17 degrees, the daytime high. Overnight, we are getting into single-digit territory. It is going to feel like fall in the later parts of August. Southern Georgian Bay, very similar forecast in your area as well. Cool conditions to kickstart the start of next week, and down the Windsor area, you're going to see some sunshine to start Monday, but just a high of 20 degrees, that low of 12. So yeah, we're starting to see cool conditions. For anyone who likes those 30-degree temperatures, I don't know, I'm crossing my fingers we will see a return of that in September. And let's take a look at tonight's Weather Watcher picture. It is from Rob. He sent us this beautiful photo of the monarch butterflies on his Scotch thistles at Sauble Beach. Gorgeous photo. Haven't made it up to Sauble Beach yet this summer, but I would love to do so.
Oh, me as well. But nice to see the butterflies still enjoying the weather.
Yes,
I don't know if
exactly.
I'm looking forward to the single digits. I'm looking forward to the low teens temperatures.
Yeah, we call it warm fall.
Yeah, just a light jacket.
Yeah, but you'll need the layers on Monday and Tuesday, that's for sure.
All right, well, thanks for that, Leanne.
Thank you.
A Kitchener woman is another gold medal richer after winning the National Para Bowls Championship. It was the 4th time the blind lawn bowler has been crowned the Canadian champion, and the 69-year-old has no plans to stop.
We both get one when we both had this same.
It's just the latest medal in Louise McLean's collection. The 69-year-old winning gold at the Para Bowls National Championship in Ottawa.
I really enjoy what I'm doing, and I take it one day at a time.
It's the 4th national gold medal McLean has won under the Para Bowls banner since 2022. She also has a bronze medal from a world event last year and lots of hardware from other lawn bowling competitions.
She's spot on. She's a better bowler than me, to be honest. Blind bowler beats a lot of these people in the club.
A member of the Heritage Greens Lawn Bowling Club in Kitchener, McLean lost her sight in 2004. 2 years later, a friend in a support group suggested she try the sport, quickly falling in love with it and improving ever since.
It's amazing what she can do as a blind person to get so close to the jack, which is our target. Just getting a few instructions, like you were a foot narrow or a foot wide, and you need another 2 yards on your distance, and she does it.
I'd say 2.5 meters.
McLean can't see the jack at the end of the green, but can slightly see just in front of her. So she uses a white line to help center herself and relies on vocal and physical guidance from her coach and director.
You got the distance, and yeah, it's great.
If the jack gets moved, I have someone to just show me by their feet how far out the jack is from the center, because I need to know these things.
I can explain what's happened to her because she can't see the greens beyond her feet, really.
And when she's holding a bowl, she's nothing but serious, even in a practice.
Somebody needs to count it off for me.
It's not a real game.
No, but I need to know.
We know when to sort of take a little walk.
She's feisty bowler. She's a good person to have on somebody's team because she's good. If you give her good instructions as to distances and the width of her bowl, the angle that she's taking, and she can deliver.
Yes, when I get on the greens, I am very competitive. Don't tell me to have fun, because once I'm on the greens, no, I am bowling.
Oh, nice adjustment. Okay.
Going forward, McLean will take her competitive spirit to the Atlantic International Challenge in Windsor this September, where she'll face athletes from Ireland, Scotland, and the United States.
I will try my best to do the best I can when I'm there.
A great story and some great reporting by me. Oxford County gets set to rock this weekend. Still to come on CTV News, the second annual Good for the Saul Music Festival back in Ingersoll with thousands of fans expected.
This is your CTV Kitchener Our Community Calendar. The Waterloo Region Walk for Parkinson's takes place on September 6th. You can take part as an individual or team and help raise funds to support families dealing with Parkinson's. We'll see you next time on Our Community.
Ontario lost nearly 40,000 jobs in the second quarter of this year, according to the province's financial watchdog. The FAO says the job losses are partially due to the impacts of U.S. tariffs. Most of the cuts were in the manufacturing sector, which lost 29,400 roles. Unemployment rose for the 9th consecutive quarter, reaching 7.8%. Ontario's finance minister says the province is investing $70 million for training supports for workers in tariff-affected industries. Canada's biggest banks are set to report third quarter earnings next week, providing potential insights into the health of the economy amid the U.S. trade war. Bank stocks have seen gains above the broader market in recent months as the initial fear around tariffs has somewhat eased. Analysts aren't expecting the same pop from trading in results, but they also don't expect banks to add notably to their provisions for bad loans. The big six bank stocks have outperformed the wider TSX by 1 percentage point so far this year, despite weak domestic GDP and rising unemployment. Talks between Canada Post and the union representing postal workers are now being put on hold. Negotiations were scheduled for today, but the Crown Corporation says it needs more time to review this week's offers from the union. Both parties returned to the bargaining table this week after a pause triggered by the Air Canada flight attendants strike. The union is asking for higher wages while allowing for the addition of weekend delivery and part-time workers. Canada Post and the union are scheduled to meet again Monday. Encouraging signs on Canada's economy today as June numbers show an increase in retail sales by more than 1.5%. CTV's Kamal Karamali now on why we're seeing growth when many predicted a recession.
Retail analysts say this growth doesn't necessarily show signs of a super strong economy, but it's not as bad as many expected given the trade war. Retail sales rose 1.5% to more than $70 billion. That's because all 9 Canadian sectors showing either no change or an increase in sales for June. The sectors with the highest increases compared to May: clothing with over 5% growth, building material with supplies with over 2%, and food and beverage seeing more than a 2% increase in sales. Across the country, Ontario saw one of the biggest retail sale increases at over 3%. Quebec remained unchanged, while BC and Alberta saw 1.5% and 1% increases in sales. In May, retail sales slumped, dropping more than 1%, largely because of a fall in vehicle sales, with tariffs on aluminum and steel and the trade war playing a role. But for June, auto sales remained mostly unchanged, climbing less than 1%.
If we talk about, for things from a consumer standpoint, we are still seeing wage gains happening. The labor market is starting to, contract a little bit, but not a heck of a lot yet. It's mostly concentrated in tariff-related sectors where we're starting to see the bleeding happen. And so as a result, consumers are still spending.
As for July, Statistics Canada says retail sales are expected to drop by 0.8%. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
There are concerns today for Canadians who rely on disability benefits. There are reports that people have not received them. CTV's Adrian Gobriel now on the delay in direct deposits.
Canadians who depend on federal disability benefits have been left with an empty feeling at the ATM this week.
I checked and it's not there, and I went, okay, no breakfast.
In July, Ottawa began making payments through its new federal disability benefit that tops out at $200 a month for a total of $2,400 a year.
It lets them buy some essential over-the-counter painkillers, maybe, pay for their food, pay a backlog of bills and debt, pay their rent.
This past Thursday, Canadians living with a disability, like Victoria State, were supposed to receive the program's second payment. Many have been left empty-handed.
Excuse me, you started a program for people who are struggling.
CTV News called the Canada Disability Benefit Call Centre hotline. We were greeted with this voicemail.
Due to a system issue, some Canada Disability Benefit payments issued by direct deposit for the month of August 2025 will be delayed. We apologize for the inconvenience.
In March, Prime Minister Mark Carney eliminated multiple cabinet positions, including the now former Minister for Diversity, Inclusion, and Persons with Disabilities. Advocates say issues like this are proof that Carney's move was a mistake.
This basically means that we are lumped into a huge portfolio that the current Minister of Jobs and Families is responsible for. So we are not a top priority.
We asked the federal government for an explanation as to why payments haven't been made. A spokesperson didn't directly answer our question, saying in part, they are pleased to confirm that the majority of CDB payments are completed. A limited number of client payments remain outstanding due to an isolated systems issue.
You don't start a program and then drop the ball. Thank you very much. You people are getting a paycheck. You got a paycheck because you can get food. I don't got a paycheck, and I got no food.
There was some good news late this afternoon. Following our questions to the federal government, we began to hear from some who say they've now received their deposits. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Aurora, Ontario.
Costumes and comics taking over the heart of Toronto. Still to come on CTV News, all the sci-fi, horror, anime, and video games as Fan Expo makes its return downtown. Well, thousands of music fans are expected in Ingersoll this weekend for the second annual Good for the Soul Music Festival. With more on the event and this year's headliner, here's CTV's Brian Bicknell.
Jay Panasico listens as Sass Jordan comes on the radio. A small taste of what's to come this Saturday in his hometown of Ingersoll.
The entire community's behind it.
The stage is being set at Memorial Park as Panasico organizes the second annual Good for the Soul Music Festival. This is what it looked like last year as Helix rocked this park.
I am going to do a concert at Good for the Soul in Ingersoll.
This year's headliner is Sass Jordan,
who is just an absolute Canadian gem. We got my friend from London, Ontario, Charlie Edwards, coming. The guy's going to be the next Canadian superstar. He's just amazing. He just released an album. This kid's going places. We got One Way Streets, who were here last year. year, they're the Hometown Boys. Then another band from town, a girls band with a guy drummer called Misconduct, and they're ready to rock.
Several dozen local businesses are sponsoring the event, including Chelmsford Pizza.
It's good for us as a community to get together and have a good time together and enjoy ourselves and celebrate what living in a small town is, community.
Meantime, at Ingersoll Rail's House of Brews, they've brewed up a special festival batch.
Well, this is Boxcar 73, which is a cream ale. It's a nice, light, refreshing beer, which we figured would be perfect for an outdoor event.
The park opening to the public at 5 o'clock on Saturday, with the first band taking the stage at 6:30. But get here early. Some 4,000 people are expected down here at Memorial Park for the Good for the Soul Music Festival.
Tomorrow's concert is dedicated to my dad, Nick Panasico, who was at one time Canada's hottest promo man, and I hope I make him proud.
In Ingersoll, Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
You'd think it'd be good for the soul because it's Ingersoll, but good for the soul. And more news coming up ahead after the break, but first, here's Leanne.
Well, Colton, we had a beautiful day here in Waterloo Region, an abundance of sunshine, but some wet weather is on the way. How will your Saturday morning look? We'll find out in Wake Up Weather next. You got no weekend plans? No problem. Sit down and settle in for The Big Bang Theory, then Celebrity Jeopardy, followed by Fear Thy Neighbor, back-to-back episodes.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
3 awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 105.3 Virgin Radio.
All right, Leanne's back to tell us what the weather looks like in the morning.
Yeah, okay, so if you have outdoor plans, get outside, enjoy the sunshine in the early part of the day, because by the later afternoon hours, we will be seeing some rain, that's for sure. Let's take a look at our wake-up weather here in Waterloo Region. Warmer temperatures than what we've seen over the past several weeks, I'd say. 17 degrees if you are an early riser. By 10 a.m., we're sitting at 21, mix of sun and cloud. And beautiful conditions to start the weekend. Just not sure we'll end our Saturday night that way.
Okay, well then if you have to spend some time inside on Saturday, it might be a good time to head to Toronto.
Yeah.
A colorful cast of characters has descended on downtown Toronto. Fan Expo is back for another year at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre.
Yeah, the event has something for everyone, from comics to sci-fi, horror, anime, and video games, and some star power as well. CTV's Sean Leathong checked it out today.
It's a celebration of everything pop culture, from celebrities to comics to cosplay and everything in between. Fan Expo is a place where reality is whatever you want.
I feel like Batman, but 10 times more better.
Taking over all 4 buildings at the Metro Convention Center, over 130,000 people are expected to attend the 4-day event.
It's a feast for the eyes, it's a visual sensation. It's all about community.
There's characters made entirely of Lego.
They take anywhere from maybe 50 hours to over 200.
And those bringing characters to real life who say they feel liberated inside these walls.
Like if you go outside anywhere else, people are gonna like look at you or bark at you. But here, I'm surrounded by people who are like me. I get to communicate and laugh, make friends.
Being disabled myself, it means I get to go out and experience things that I don't experience outside the house.
And there's so many cosplayers here, so it's nice to be able to like see your own people.
The costumes are on another level, where making characters come to life can take
too many hours of work, a lot of tears, some blood, a lot of sweat, but it's all worth it in the end.
And cosplayers like Star Fox are more than happy to share how the costumes are made.
So this just has like a nice vision mesh basically, and then this, here I can show the camera, you can actually see right through it.
This year there is a big presence of characters from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time.
Here to celebrate the film's 40th anniversary.
And because it's the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future, Fan Expo is bringing in even more than this DeLorean.
While there are many Doc Browns in the crowd, the real Doc, actor Christopher Lloyd, was signing autographs this afternoon. as was Claudia Wells, who played Marty McFly's girlfriend, Jennifer Parker.
There's such a kindness and a love and a joy with fans, and everyone has their own sort of personality, and sometimes Back to the Future is their part. It's like their life. They need to move it, and then I get to be a part of that.
And while it seemed like the crowds couldn't get any bigger,
it's actually not that busy yet. It will get much busier tomorrow.
And the line behind me is waiting for autographs for none other than Michael J. Fox. Fan Expo continues this weekend and runs through Sunday. Sean Lee Thong, CTV News.
Cool to see Doc there from
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Do you think like he knew that he was going to be here in the future?
Oh, maybe. You never know.
Did you watch that movie?
No.
Okay, well that's really
This
all
isn't working.
That's
Okay,
it for
wait,
us. I might go to Fan Expo. She needs to
I like
watch
the
movie first.
costumes.
You like okay? What costume would you wear? I'd be Hercules.
I don't know what I would be. Maybe Superman.
Make believe I have muscles. Oh, make believe muscles for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, make believe muscles for everyone.
I'm going home and watching Back to the Future.
Well,
that's my
it
Friday
for
night
us.
plans.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to check out the CTV News app for news anytime.